Hi, Lynn Tucker, Carnivore here, and it looks like we probably aren't going to be doing a full video about the Healing Humanity dinner and just updating you on what we're up to, Ribeye Ranger and myself. And that's because there's been a lot going on around our house lately. We had fully thought that we were going to be able to spray the oil-based stain all over our brand new fence, but a lot of weird things happened, so that just didn't happen. And now it's raining and it's very cold. So Merry Christmas, everybody. But beyond that, I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I experienced when we were at the Healing Humanity dinner, and then catch you up on a few things. And hopefully I can do it very fast. First off, we got to the dinner. Well, we actually took our RV down because we wanted to take Sammy with us. And so we found a really nice place. Tell me in the comments if you want me to tell you where we stayed, because it was really, really nice and quaint, and they love dogs. So there's that. And they had a really great pool. And so we got to the place that was going to be holding the dinner for Healing Humanity. And we did the recon the day before and just wanted to find out where we could park because there wasn't parking there, and went and saw this very nice lady who just happened to be living about 2 doors down from the place. And she was watering her plants and pulling off the dead leaves and things. And I said, oh, let's talk to her. And Jim's like, yeah, good idea. So we did, and she was so sweet and let us park in her front yard. And we didn't say anything. We were very under the radar about the whole thing. And super cool. We met her granddaughters. I mean, it was really neat. And just the kind of thing that happens on carnivore events where people just are nicer and everything kind of falls together, you know? It's providential. And so we walked in and met a few people right off the bat. There was a couple who the husband looked very much like one of the scientists that we see a lot of times on the video. And I approached him that way, and it turns out, no, that was the lady and her husband that Carrie Mann of Homestead How talked about as seeing Renee's video about her not being able to walk and in a wheelchair and with a cane, and then because of carnivore, she's fine and can walk. And she goes on a lot of different channels, and especially Dr. Kiltz's, I believe, and you'll see her there. And Carrie also did an interview with her, so you can look at Homestead How for her. Her name is Renee, and she said she watched Renee's video, and she had the same thing Renee had, which was like a variance of MS, and now she's running. She was in a wheelchair, so she had to be at the dinner, and she wanted to meet Carrie, and et cetera, et cetera. So it was a beautiful gathering that Scott Everson put out of Meat Stock, and so much fun you can't even begin to believe. And these meetups are so much fun. There's a January 17th one that's going to be happening in San Diego, and I would imagine healinghumanity.movie/events would be how you could find out where that is and what time and etc. But it is January 17th. And then February 21st is going to be in South Carolina. Yay! I'm assuming, and I think it's pretty definite, that it's going to be in Charleston, because that's where Mimi Morgan lives. And she has that unbelievable story about 5 different things that were wrong with her, including Parkinson's and MRSA and other blood-related situations, and everything that carnivore healed for her. So it'll be really fun to meet her. But back to what I was talking about before, which was the Healing Humanity dinner. We talked to a couple of people, and then it happened. Jen and Carrie arrived, and Jen saw me, and I saw Jen, and it was like some kind of a reunion of people, souls that haven't seen each other for eons. And she practically jumped in my arms. It was so touching and so wonderful. And Jen, you are sweeter than can be. And the fact that you supported your husband so much and held up the fort when he was out filming, 100%. Girl, you're a great wife, and I really, really, really enjoyed meeting you. We had a good time talking and lots of fun to be able to kind of relate stories back and forth. So that was great. She even made a video for Bill Knott of a few of the people around that, you know, he really talks to a lot. And we all got a chance to say hello to him because we all didn't get a chance to have our big Alaskan bear hug from Bill. And we were a little sad about that. So if you haven't seen Bill Knott's channel, please go check it out. The man has lost another man. I mean, in weight. He used to be over 700 pounds and now he's under 350. Well, almost close. That's 2 men. So pretty incredible accomplishment, along with so many of our other wonderful friends like Limitless Lindy and Carnivore Cure, Todd Bachnes. You guys, this is a way of life that is so life-changing and healing and so good for your mental outlook, your sleep, your energy levels, you name it. So there's probably a reason why so many people are doing it. So that happened. Then we're talking and getting along with a bunch of people. And then, we saw Ashley from the Carnivore Brothers. And that was super fun because he really was the start for Jim and myself, because we met at Carnivore Soldier, Larry's meetup in, I guess that would have been considered Georgetown in Texas. And he came up to me after I spoke a little bit and said, I don't know who you are, but I love your enthusiasm. So we became quick friends. And he was telling Jen about the fact that we came to that meetup with a t-shirt that I had made, which was a takeoff on Dr. Baker's little short, I think it was, where he featured the Simpsons in a scene where everybody was running around stating, you don't make friends with salads. So that's what I put on ours. And then I put Carnivore 24. And because we had been carnivore since June 28th for Jim and July 5 for me of 2023. So we were really happy to go to our first meetup. And that's how that relationship all started. And then Ashley has just been so incredibly helpful to healing humanity that we became quick friends. And he did some really, really wonderful things for us right off the bat, too, when we first started getting involved. And we will be forever grateful, dear friend. So there's that. Okay, then Dr. Baker shows up with Bella and a couple other people. I can't even remember who all was with him. And I, of course, had to go over and tell him personally that he has got to stop one-upping me, because he was carrying around that caber, the huge log, and doing a caber carry event. And I go, every time you do a video, I have to emulate exactly what you do and see if I can do it. I mean, never underestimate the competitive nature of a Capricorn. Although he and Dr. Chafee are January ones, and December is way cooler. But still, that competitiveness is right there. And so even as on Christmas, I'll be 70-year-old woman, I'm still trying to do everything that he can do. And I said, how in the world do you jump up so high? He goes, well, you just got to keep doing it little by little and raising the height level. I'm going, oh man, that is unbelievable. I said, but that caber carry thing, I made Jim, Ribeye Ranger, go out and buy a 6-foot 4x4 so I could run around the backyard and do it myself. He laughed. I said, I'm 70. I shouldn't be doing this. He goes, yes, you should. It was very funny. And then he told us about a dog that his son wants to get. It's the same kind as ours. So we were given a few little tips about how to help them stop barking and a few other things, because that breed is so completely touched our hearts over our married time together. And then we ate dinner. Oh, and got a chance to talk to Jen a little bit more. She was in line with us. And then she was before me. And then after me was Ribeye Ranger. And then Bella and her crew. And I looked over. And I got to tell you, I eat a lot of meat, but this woman puts me to shame. Unreal. Of course, she's taller and younger, but it was really fun to see what their plates looked like. And it was put together by the Gracer or Grosser Organic Farms. They did the meat for this, and they have a 4,000-acre ranch that is located in Nebraska, I believe, and do everything by the book. I mean, they're fed perfectly, they're finished perfectly, they're the antibiotic, no antibiotics, none of that. The grass is even coiffed, for lack of a better term, because it's so manicured and things with all the right nutrients so that they eat what's best for them, which in turns out best for us. And they were they explained all the facts that they went through to try to do their crop and their cattle as fed as best as possible, dealt with as best as possible. And then the incremental problems they had once it got to the meat processor, like the packaging plants being like a monopoly. And they just told us a lot of the background information about what it's like to be a rancher. And that's probably why we were having so much trouble. I mean, first of all, the estate tax that got put on ranches whose initial owners wanted to leave it to their kids, and then the taxes were too out of line to be able for their kids to afford it, so then they ended up having to sell it, and then it went to a lot of nefarious characters as far as the land is concerned. And then on top of it, the meatpacking plants are so rare and so few, and meaning so few, and not necessarily doing things right, if you know what I mean. So it's not the best way to be processed by those dear cows that we love so much and are so grateful to. They deserve better for that process too. So they just really educated a lot of us on what that was all about. And it was really interesting. And you could really tell that family cared so much about their ranch, their cattle, and they really want to help carnivores get things done right. And I really am kind of excited about the whole Argentinian meat, only for the fact that we need a buffer because we don't have enough calves. We don't have enough cattle ranches. And it takes time for the babies to grow up and have more babies and more babies and more babies. And so that guy from Argentina that's running it, that loves Trump and loves us so much, I can at least say we can feel better about getting some in the interim from that location. So that's kind of what's going on along with the Secretary of Agriculture, because that's a priority for her too, she says. And we're all hoping that, that can happen and beef prices can come down and everything, timing with the Healing Humanity documentary, all of us doing our best to be living examples, to get out there with our YouTube channels. That's going to be the perfect foundation. That animal documentary, sprinkled in there too. That's going to be, it's all going to be really, really good. And the fact that our RFK Jr. eats carnivore, but just adds the Sean O'Mara fermented vegetables that we could take or leave, but nevertheless, carnivore. And Secretary of Transportation is carnivore too. So things are looking up, people. Now back to the dinner again. So then after that, I think I saw Lewis, Lewis, I'm sorry, I don't pronounce your name really well, but I'll put your name in the little statement below. And also Dr. Boz. It was so funny. I said real quickly, I had 2 seconds with her, and I go, Dr. Boz, thank you so much for everything you do. And I got to tell you though, the sardine thing, not going to touch these lips. I go, it was kind of like Dr. Barry wanting us to eat liver, of which I told him that I will eat liver on the day that his wife decides to be strict carnivore for the rest of her life, which we all know how that's going to turn out. She laughed. It was so funny. It was great. And so there's that. I got a long talk with Carrie Mann of Homestead How because he sat at our table. And also the people from, it's either Grosser or Gracer organic farms. So look that up on Facebook. They're on Facebook. I'll put a link to the show notes. And they were just super nice. Larry was was the gentleman's name, her grandfather, and Stephanie. And super fun people, really nice, and you can truly know that they care about their animals and what they're doing, and the fact that they're so jazzed about healing humanity and carnivores in general. So we have a friend there. And Jim and I are going to go to a farm the second week of December here in South Carolina in Saluda. And we're going to check them out, see how they do their business, because we've had their meat before and it's really good. They were having a little butcher issues, which I guess that's another problem for those poor ranchers. I mean, you're at the mercy of whoever cuts whatever you give them, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to beat the Costco big, thick New York steaks. But we've even got a little update on that one, and that is that we buy their New York loin primals and cut them ourselves. And Ribeye Ranger has a video on his channel of the last time we did that and how we pack it and such. And you get about 12 or so steaks out of one primal, and it's $9.99 a pound, not $13.99 a pound. So that helps. So there's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. Oh, we saw Christopher Brandlin there too. Got only a hello quickly with him. Dr. Kiltz was there. He was emceeing the whole thing and did a wonderful job. His personality, how could he not do a great job? And how could you not, laugh and have a good time when he's, calling you out and asking you questions as he's roaming through the audience of tables. And it was just a wonderful evening. So we got back fine. Everybody did. We met a fellow Norwegian. Yes, our newest member, Jonathan, who is now on Healing Humanity Life, and he's also on Homestead House videos. He's also part of the Dr. Kiltz's tribe, and he's on a lot with them in the mornings, or the videos streaming that they do, the live ones. What a wonderful young man, because what he went through at that before the dinner, in order to be part of the Healing Humanity event at the Hack Your Health event, being run over by a car. Yes, he was a pedestrian. He's got this huge scar here of scraping at the time, because it was a fresh wound. And he said he had some lip problems here, like he had scraped his mouth too, and then also on his hand. And I looked at him and I'm like, the lip has healed up. Oh, must be from Carnivore. You heal that fast. Are you serious? Did you? And he goes, I don't know. I think so. And then sure enough, he's healed so quickly from his traumatic experience that he had there, and was laughing through it and the whole thing. And I bet you, I would put money on the fact that it was Carnivore that got him not only through that initial event, and then at the dinner later that, I guess it was the next day or that night, I don't even know. I mean, it just seemed like it was a distant thing, but it happened so recently because he was in such a good mood. And, so what? I guess it happens. But that's what happens when you're carnivore. You don't deal with crises like you used to. Things roll off your back a little easier, and you're just so grateful to be alive and to be happy and doing well, that you're just grateful for every moment you have here. So that's our big report. I wanted to come on and tell you about myself, and I want to keep it under 20 minutes. So this was a wonderful thing to have attended. And please look up healinghumanity.movie/events and find out if a meetup is coming near you. You want to be there. It's that much fun. So take care, stay carnivore, and Merry Christmas if I don't talk to you before then. See ya. Bye.